The former San Antonio police chief, police officer, who was fired for allegedly giving a feces sandwich to a homeless person, has been hired as the chief of police for a small South Texas city. Matthew Luckhurst was indefinitely suspended from SAPD after allegedly putting dog feces on bread in a styrofoam container and then giving that to a homeless man back in May of 2016. At the time, the police chief, William McManus, called it a disgrace to the badge and an attack on human dignity. An arbitrator, though, overturned his firing. He was put back on the force only to be fired again for later smearing a brown substance in the women's restroom as a so-called prank. He was fired for that. Luckhurst then was hired by the Benavides Police Force as an officer in April of 2023. And again, he was named chief of that force last month.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Car to Car. I'm Ramon.
And hi, I'm Dana. And today we'll discuss a case out of San Antonio where the chief of police is a little suspect. And the reason I say that because in his past, he was fired for giving the homeless a sandwich that had poop in it. Should he be chief?
Not at all. And you know what's disappointing? It's disappointing that he did this action as a police officer, got relieved of duty and then fired, brought back because of arbitration, did something else again and got fired again. A police department hires him as a police officer and he rises to the ranks and becomes chief of police. How do we hold ourselves to a standard where fellow officers, the community, even our friends and family can respect us if we're doing stuff like this? I think that the actions of this police officer, once he did that, whether it was to a homeless person or to anybody, should have never gotten his job back as a police officer. We need to take certifications, not just in one state, but in all 50 states. If you can't be a police officer in one state, you shouldn't be a police officer in another state, especially if you're doing stuff. This is moral turpitude. This goes to who this person is as an individual. I don't know in what way you thought this was funny or you thought that this was okay or in what fashion this had anything to do with police work. You know, this is some stupidity that happened. And then for a town or a city to say, this guy, I know he's done it twice, but this is who I want leading my department and leading men and women to lead our community. I don't know who can conceive that this individual, and I believe in second chances, but there's certain things that I think, especially when it comes to your morality, you don't deserve to have certain jobs.
I agree. I believe in second chances as well, but maybe he didn't need a second chance in law enforcement. We're not saying you don't deserve to go and work somewhere, but definitely not in law enforcement and definitely not at the rank of chief of police. Because if you feel that that is okay because you did it twice or you've done something twice to be fired, then imagine what you will allow your officers to get away with. I shudder to think what would come across your desk and you try to cover it up or just sign off on it and say that's okay. So that's why it's important that you do not have a leader who does not have integrity leading men and women.
I agree. And again, so disappointing because another department felt that he was worthy enough to become a police officer and then ultimately become a chief of police. And it may not seem like much, but if this was you or your family member that this happened to, then it's gonna seem like a lot then. But because it's not you, or sometimes we think that homeless are throwaways, you know, it's disappointing that it's okay for this gentleman to still get a job. And I don't even know why I'm calling him a gentleman, because he's a jerk to be able to do something. That's nasty. Like, who even thinks I'm gonna do this? I'm gonna give somebody a feces sandwich and thinks that it's cute.
Well, I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I think it has to be some friends and family type deal going on here because I can't believe someone just picked up his resume a random administrator picked up his resume and the backgrounds came back with the records of his background and said, yeah, this is the one. So I know it has to be some type of relationship there, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I hope this doesn't come back to bite them or embarrass them because, and I guess it has to a degree because we saw it. So it's
Yeah.
just disappointing. So good luck, city or town. This is your chief.
Yeah, definitely be careful. So with that, there's another episode of Carter Call Podcast. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and to leave feedback. We appreciate it.
And until next time.
Till next time.